What is up, YouTube? Doug Polk here, and today we're going to be talking about the $102,000 WCOOP. Now, you all already should know about this because I did a video on it last week, but I wanted to do another video today to talk about betting on different players and the kinds of odds that you can get. Pokerstars has released odds that you can bet on different players to win the event, and I want to talk about who's a good pick, who's a bad pick, and generally speaking, an inside view onto where you should put your money. Hey there, YouTube. You didn't think that for such a prestigious event, I wouldn't get dressed up for it, did you? Well, you're in luck because for such a classy event, it's going to take a classy outfit. And on that note, let's jump into how we're going to do this. I'm going to divide this up into 3 categories. We're going to divide it up into good picks, meaning picks that will make you money, bad picks, meaning stay away, and interesting picks, maybe some people that I think are a little higher or lower than they should be, moving around a lot in the lines, and might be someone you want to sweat just for the pure entertainment value. So let's go ahead and jump into some good picks. So our first good pick that we have here today is Run This Table, otherwise known as Lucky Chewy, or his real name, Andrew Lichtenberger. The reason I think he's a good pick isn't because he's even a favorite in the field. And to be honest with you, I'm not even sure if he will play or not. I've not talked to him in quite a while. But at 41-1 with someone that's as solid as Lucky Chewy is, with the past he has and the game that I know he has, he's definitely a solid pick. I've played him a little bit in heads up and a little bit in various tournaments in the past couple of years, and he's a solid player. Now, this tournament is the toughest tournament out there, but when we're assessing the value of these picks, at 41-1, this is a great pick should he enter the tournament. I doubt that there's even going to be 25 or 30 people that play this tournament. So getting a solid player that's maybe slightly losing when they only have to have about a 75% return on their investment in order to be profitable given the odds is a great pick. The only caveat I would say here is that I don't know if he's going to play, so I would bet on him hoping he does play, planning on printing long term with just these great odds. Our second pick here today is Dan Smith, otherwise known as Danny98765. Dan is definitely a favorite in the field. I just can't. No, I can't. Another solid pick for this tournament is the man, the legend himself, OTB Red Baron. I don't care if I have to give you 2-1 to get him to win this tournament. I'm taking that bet all day. OTB is the biggest winner in 6 max cash in the last several years, with the best win rate to boot, and then also has an impressive heads-up resume, including winning a lot at the cash tables, as well as winning the 20K scoop heads-up earlier this year. In all areas of his game, this guy is a beast. Now, at 21-1, he's definitely a good pick. I'd say his probably realistic odds are something more like 12-1 or 14-1. So you're definitely getting some value there with betting on OTB. But, you're still not getting the kinds of odds you might get with some other picks, some 30-1, 40-1 type horses. So I would pick OTB, put some money down there, and prepare to print because this guy's a machine. Our next good pick here today is Jason Mercier, coming in at a cheap 19-1 price. If you look at his past results in the last several months, this guy is on fire, winning 2 and almost 3 bracelets this summer across different World Series of Poker events. Not to mention, the real ace up his sleeve is having to stream the entire event with his whole card showing for all of his opponents to see. Now, we all know what an advantage it is to stream an event. Definitely increases the price of that player substantially. Every decision that goes to their mind, they have to think not only is this the right play, but what are thousands and maybe even tens of thousands of people around the world going to think and say about that decision? With that kind of burden, how can you not play your A game? How can you not bring everything that you have to take it down and show the whole world that you're a good reg? So if you're looking for a value play, definitely Jason Mercier 19-1. I'd say up to about 14-1, you're going to be printing money. Our last good pick here today is Igor Kurganov, coming in at 34-1. While I'm not sure if he's going to be winning in the field, Igor has a long history of playing high rollers and being involved in high stakes cash. From my play with him online the last few years in heads up, it definitely seems like he understands a lot of the important concepts when it comes to playing good poker against tough opponents. Now, I'm not sure if he's winning in the field because this is a really sick field, probably one of the sickest fields ever, if not the sickest ever. So I'm not saying as much I think he's winning. What I am saying is I think he's a very good pick here at 34 to 1. I doubt there will be 34 entrants, and he has a lot of experience in these games. So if you're looking for maybe a slightly good pick and you want to gamble a little bit, I'd pick Igor Kurganov. Well, they do say it's the good, the bad, and the ugly. So now it's time to move into our bad picks here today. And the first bad pick I have to say is David Peters. Coming in at 21 to 1, this puts him as one of the steepest priced people in the field. Unfortunately, while David Peters is a good tournament player and definitely winning in a lot of lineups, we're talking about the best of the best. He doesn't really have the experience playing in these higher stakes cash games online that the environment will be much more like. This tournament's going to be very deep and have a lot of extremely good players. So I have to say that I think he's probably more like 25, 30 to 1 instead of 21 to 1. Actually, as a funny note, I actually busted this event last year when it was a 50K, bluffing into his quads. So if he plans to make a lot of quads, this could turn around in a hurry. Next up on our list of bad picks is, let's see, What? Okay, so all seriousness aside, this guy's been having a rough go of it lately. Last month, he tried to start a bankroll challenge to turn $100 into 10K, and then realized he couldn't even beat the people at 1 cent, 2 cent. Talk about taking a step down. Then this month, he came up to Vancouver and rapidly lost $75,000 in front of a live audience of thousands of viewers. So I'm not sure if it's just this addiction to social media or this lack of playing high stakes, but certainly he's been having a lot of problems lately, and I don't foresee that changing for this event. Now, 21 to 1, that's a bit too much. Maybe he's more like 25, 30, 35, 40 to 1. In that range, I think you have a much better pick. Our next bad pick coming in here is Phil Ivey at 26 to 1 because of math. So now that we've talked about some good picks and some bad picks, we're going to go ahead and talk about some interesting picks, or generally, I guess, sort of break-even picks, and we'll talk a little about different people. But first off, there's someone that we just have to talk about. Seriously, the world cannot get enough of this player, and frankly, if I have to have one more conversation about them, I'm going to blow a gasket. So let's talk about the 23 to 1 odds on Educa Poker. This guy has been coming up lately, and I think 23 to 1 is probably a slightly good price to get him. Maybe he's more like 20 to 1 or 18 to 1. He is a good player in both 6-max and heads up, and definitely has won a lot of money at both tables this year. However, I'm not entirely sure how much tournament experience he has, and so I'm going to have to dock him a few points there. If you want a slightly winning pick, maybe pick up Educa and add him in there. Okay, we both know what I just did there. Let's talk about Fedor holes. So at 23 to 1, and I'm sure this is changing as we speak, I think he's actually reasonably priced. That would put him at slightly winning within the field, which is probably about where he is. I don't think he's crushing by any stretch of the imagination with the guys like OTB and Trueteller in the mix. That said, he still is a winning player. At 23 to 1 and being a slightly winning player, you're probably about a break-even bet. If you feel like the heater won't add, you can get in there. If you just want the sweat, you can get in there too. But I think either way, you're not making or losing much money with that pick. That's going to bring us to the end of this review of the 2016 WCOOP Super High Roller. Now, you might not agree with some of my assessments of the players, but that's the best thing. It's a free market. So bet on who you want, and feel free to leave in the comments below people I might have missed, some good or bad plays, as well as maybe some of your thoughts on my reviews. Thank you for joining me here, and I will be streaming it tomorrow, 6:30 a.m. PST. I start my stream, and the event starts at 9:30 a.m. PST. Unfortunately, I will not be using hole cards, as I said in the prior video. I will see you guys tomorrow, and best of luck to everyone playing the 102K WCOOP. I know I'd already published a schedule for my WCOOP, but it's changed a bunch. I'm going to be streaming 4 days a week, starting always at 6:30 a.m. PST, on Sunday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday. So hop on by if you want to see some cash games, a couple of tournaments, and some lulls.